The best freaking intro song to a concert or a show, yet it wasn't the first song on the album. That's weird, right? It would have been great.
Yeah, I'm sure we've discussed that before. How, like, the view that people have of how 90125 could begin with side 2 and then do side 1.
But Trevor Horn insisted you got to open with the hit. It worked for them. It did, but they could have opened with this and the radio play still would have done what it had done and it still would have accomplished what it had accomplished. So anyhow, we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully people can make their own like YouTube playlists or whatever, so do what they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Steven. This is Dan. We're the hosts of Yesshift, this podcast about Yes, its band members and prog rock. And on this episode, we are reviewing Melancholia, the latest piano album from Rick Wakeman. It just came out yesterday. And just a little update. We were going to have Adam Parrish on here. He also plays keyboards, and he's assisted as part of Rick's crew at some point. And he also saw, I think, a couple, or at least one of the most recent shows, and he's played with Gordon Giltrap, but we're rescheduling with him. We're still...
Because he saw a couple Drum Talk TV episodes and said, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, but no, something came up on his end, so we're rescheduling. We have to look into a couple things, and we'll make it happen. But in the meantime, by
the way,
yeah,
he's a great keyboard player and a great piano player and just a really sweet guy. I'm really looking forward to having Adam on.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, really great guy.
Right. So for this album, let's see. So where do I begin? So Rick does explain on his website that Melancholia is often misunderstood as sadness. So just quoting him here, he said, "It is a temperament as much as a mood, sensitive, thoughtful, loyal, creatively driven, deeply analytical, and quietly steadfast. That richer definition lies at the heart of this album. These compositions are neither bleak nor morose. They are generous in spirit, filled with moments of light and resolve, reflecting a mind that has learned to make peace with melancholy, not to escape it, but to transmute it." So with that in mind, and with your experience listening to this album in mind, what do you think of the overall feel of this album, Dad?
I have what might surprise you and everybody, maybe. I dove into just listening to this with zero knowledge of what the album was about or anything. And there's the cover, same as Steve's background. Rick copied Steve on this. and I really had no idea that it was just a piano album. So I listened to the first song and went, wow, that's beautiful. I listened to the second song and went, oh, okay, another piano song. And by the third song, I thought, okay, wait a minute. I really expected something totally different. I don't know why. I expected mini moogs and I don't know why, but I got to tell you, I got to The Morning Light, and immediately, like, all the songs are great, all the songs are beautiful, all the soundscapes are gorgeous. Even though it's all piano, I can say they are soundscapes. But I got to The Morning Light, and something about that one just grabbed me right away. In fact, I paused it and I looked at it, and at 7 seconds, by 7 seconds, this is my favorite song. Even though I hadn't heard the rest, I listened to the rest, and it's still my favorite song. I don't know if it's the key it's in or the cadence and the rhythm, but I just love that song. So now, to further answer your question more directly and understanding it's a piano album, it's beautiful, and it's something that I don't know what the last album is that we've gotten from Rick that was just an all piano album of all original material.
Yeah, because I feel like it might have been within the last couple years. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
Same,
I
yeah.
think one of the things he's said he's working on is he's working on a more proggy album as well, if I remember correctly. So
Oh, so we'll get
th-
some of these.
yeah, so that might be more in line with what you were expecting this to be. But yeah, he's done piano albums here and there,
Yeah.
and this is another addition to that side of his discography. And it's interesting that Morning Light is your favorite track on this. I'll go ahead and read the track list
Why
first.
do you
So,
say it's interesting? Is it your favorite too?
well, because I feel like up until that point, like the first 5 tracks feel more introspective and a different mood to me. And then the Morning Light, it can
Yeah.
still be introspective, but feels a bit more upbeat in a way.
Yeah.
Like
That
not
maybe
not
that's
not
it.
overtly upbeat, like in your face, but it does feel like
There's like
a
a
bit
lift
more
in the step,
uplifting.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
what got me maybe. And maybe
Right.
the track listing had something to do with the placement of it. I don't know, but yeah, go ahead with what's on this album.
Yeah, so we got Sitting at the Window, Reflection. So we start off with a couple things that remind me of Glass right away with those titles. And then we have Pathos, Dance of the Ghosts, Alone, The Morning Light, Garo, All in the Mind, Sea of Tranquility, Missing, Watching Life, and Melancholia. And I feel like Sea of Tranquility is another one that feels a little bit more different from the rest of the tracks. Each of these tracks are definitely their own thing, but most of them feel like they're kind of in the same introspective mood, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I wonder if Sea of Tranquility is at all related to the geographical location of our moon.
Oh, is there like some
Yeah, there's
location
a
associated with that?
yeah, there's an area of our moon called the Sea of Tranquility.
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe it's also the name of some prog rock band or something.
Not
But
that I know of, but watch
yeah.
Apollo 11. It's noted in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, I remember being a kid and seeing them orbit the moon and land on the moon, if that really happened. Anyway, that's another conversation.
Right.
By the way, I'm on board with that really happened, that they did land on the moon.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, there's even a Yes song about it. So why wouldn't it be true, you know?
Absolutely. And the other song, what was the other song on there? So after Morning Light is Garo, and then what was the one after that? Sorry.
All in the Mind.
Yeah, I like that one as well. Yeah. And I do think that had this is just my personal opinion with my own sensibilities, but I kind of feel like if the Morning Light was first or second, that the mood might have seemed a little shaded after that. I like that it picks up with the Morning Light.
Okay,
Track
so
listing is
you like
really
the put
key.
yeah, you like the placement of it about midway through, right?
Yeah, I do. And I really, really think it's a great example of how important track listing is. You know that I've been very critical of, especially with Yes, more than any other band. You know where I'm going. That's why you're giggling.
Yeah, and we have different views on this, but
We
yeah.
do. And that's okay. Like Grandpa used to say, you're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong. Um, but I've been very critical about their albums sometimes ending on way too much of a cool down, and and that works for some albums. For me, it has not for some albums by Yes, but it's just another example of how track listing makes a difference. But the bottom line is you can't please everybody with the same thing, and you should never try to. So just because that's my feeling doesn't mean that it's wrong. It doesn't mean that everyone feels that way, but I quite like the placement of this song because it picks it up. The first few songs before that, like you say, are very introspective, and they're not dark at all. They're not dark. They're beautiful, but there's something about this song, a bit of the pickup in the cadence and the key, and I don't know, it just feels just right.
Yeah. And I feel like it made for some really good morning listening for me. You know, I didn't do anything crazy last night, but I woke up
That's different.
kind of feeling like I was aching. I don't know if it was the way that I slept, but you know, trying to take things slow in the morning, especially on a weekend morning when I'm trying to, you know, rest a bit after a busy week. I feel like this was the right album to listen to. You know, it's easier to take in, but you can also admire the beauty of it. Um, like I'm sure that people could put this on while they're doing other things, but I would invite people to
Just
at
take
least
it
give
in.
it a full close listen and get to know it first.
Totally. That's interesting that you say what you said about the morning after last night, because I played a show last night in Phoenix
Yeah.
that was a benefit for the flooding that happened up here where we're based in Globe in Miami, Arizona. And I went with a guitar player. Got to give a shout out to Ruben Rooster Sanchez, who rode down there with me and we played together at this show. And when we got done packing up the truck, I looked at him. I said, no, we got out and we were walking into a restaurant like at 11:30 at night or something. And I said, man, I'm sore. And I said, but it's not from playing. It's from just packing up and lugging all this crap around. So I too was sort of like just worn out. I got home at like 12:30, 12:40, got to bed probably 1:15 in the morning. Then all the dogs, thank you very much. 3 of them are here, woke me up at 5. So I slept like 3.5, 4 hours and I was still feeling it. And then a bit later in the morning, I put on the album finally, to listen to in time for the show. And I did give it pretty much full attention. And you're right. It's one of those things where I don't think any album at first listen you want to listen to when you're preoccupied. I don't think that's fair. If that's even fair to say, I don't think it's fair to the music, fair to the artist. I think if you're going to listen to something for the first time, take it in, just like a new meal for the first time or meeting someone for the first time. You're not going to be distracted. You want to give them your full attention and, take in the vibe. And that does make a huge difference. I'm glad that you pointed it out, especially an album that is, shall I say, more focused because it is a piano album. I don't even know how to explain how that concept of doing so is different than a full band. You should still give it full attention, but it's almost like listening to a one-on-one conversation, more focused than a panel of people talking, if you will. I don't know if I'm conveying what I'm.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because, you know, it's just Rick playing here. And so you want to think about how he's put all this together and, you know, the motions and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I totally get what you mean.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think of the artwork? We usually
yeah,
start with the cover and work our way in.
yeah, I was about to go there actually. I really like it. It feels different from some of the other album covers we've seen from him. This sort of painting style gets me a little nostalgic because it reminds me of some of the paintings we've had up in the house over the years, especially in like early childhood in Ventura.
Oh,
So
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so I really like it.
So, for those who don't know, it is basically a palette painting, meaning it wasn't done with a brush. It was done with a palette knife where you put the paint on the canvas or you put it on a different surface and you scoop it with the flat palette knife. And then you basically paint it with literally a hard type of knife. My mother was an artist, and Steve is referring to some of her artwork as well as some other artwork I inherited at the time from one of my grandparents. And yeah, if you scoot in even more, you can see that detail. There's no brush strokes. It's a palette knife. And my mother used to use that technique from time to time. And it gives a whole different vibe. And
Yeah, just looking more closely, I notice how the boat, you could very much look at it as just a line if you look super close, but
yeah,
it's amazing how
abstract.
when we look at the whole picture, we know it's a boat. We know that that's the intention, and there's an amazing, wonderful thing about it.
Yeah, and I like that it's very, technically it's very monotone. There's one scheme of colors and that's it.
Yeah.
The sky is actually a bit of the outcast there, being a little bit more just plain grayish with a touch of blue. It's beautiful. And then the sea has more green in it and everything like that. I haven't shown this to Enja, my wife, who's a wonderful artist. I'd be curious on her take, but it's quite different from any other album cover he's done, whether by Roger Dean or photographs, or other things he's had. But it totally fits the theme, kind of like you alluded to. And it's there's motion in the stillness, if that makes sense, because you see the reflection of the sky in the water, and it's really interesting. It's different, very different.
Yeah, I think for other albums, like especially in prog rock, we're not used to seeing these kinds of
It's more classical art, or the
Yeah,
classical.
so it's very fitting for this piano album in that sense.
Yeah, good point. I'm
Yeah.
curious if anybody watching has heard this. It just came out yesterday as we're recording or live on the 18th. It came out yesterday, 17th October. Is that right?
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
So it's pretty new.
That might be the most newest release I've ever listened to since its release in a very long time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff we've reviewed recently, because
there's some stuff we've reviewed before it came out, now that I think of it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking back to Portraits of Bob Dylan and Natural Timber, but those were re-releases, so I guess that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I do feel like it's been quite a while since we last reviewed like a super new release from anyone. And yes, I'd probably have to go back to our catalog and scroll and see like what it was. But yeah, this was a very enjoyable listen. I like the gentleness and introspective nature of it. Like Rick is just so good on the piano, Yeah,
and for those watching on Drum Talk TV, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I want to just point out that there are no drums on this album. However, I'll also remind you that the piano is a percussion instrument. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, if you pretend that fingers are drumsticks and the keys are like drums,
and you got the hammers hitting the strings, which makes it a percussion instrument.
Yeah, for sure. And
but it's really a nice album.
Yeah, and people can get this over on Rick Wakeman's website. In fact, let me screen share
the website?
some of the different products that are available here. So this is, let me just share this tab. Let me make sure I have the correct one. So the site is called rickwakeman'smusicemporium.com, and I'll show y'all in a moment what's on there.
It's not a shed or a shack or a market or a marketplace. It's an emporium of everything Rick Wakeman. There you go.
Okay, so you can see like the drink bottle and the bag and stuff, right? Yeah, so there are these products that have the cover art on them. There's a drink
That's
bottle.
Pretty expensive. I'm surprised.
A mug, a tote bag, a notebook.
So wait, a puzzle, a jigsaw.
Oh yeah, puzzle. Jigsaw puzzle.
But wait a minute. We've given so much credit to the album art without mentioning who the artist is. Who's the artist?
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to figure it out, and I just don't know at the moment.
That's interesting that it's not listed so simply.
Right, but yeah, you also got this coaster, this CD, DVD, this test pressing. So yeah, people can find all that stuff on Rick Wakeman's Music Emporium.
It's an emporium.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like really trying to figure out who this artist is to give them their due. It's a bit of a struggle.
Let's try this just for fun. Hey Siri.
Oh, no, please no.
No? Why?
Or at least mute yourself when you do that.
Okay, hold on.
All right, so he's checking. Did anything come up?
Followed by 2018's Piano Odyssey.
It's okay. So I sorted out everything but that. It's the third in a series of piano albums.
Yeah.
First with Piano Portraits in 2017, followed by Odyssey, I think, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Piano Portraits is actually the. I met Rick on that tour when I was
I
in
remember that.
England. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah. But no mention of the album art. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Found something?
Maybe, yeah. Recorded on a Steinway Model D, one of those meaningful suites of piano music I've ever done, he says. Although the album, no, I don't see it. That's quite odd, yeah.
Yeah, huh. Yeah, maybe I wonder if it's maybe listed in the physical product. Maybe someone
It's
who
gotta
has it
be.
can like let us know.
Maybe Oliver did it. Or Gemma.
Yeah, or for all we know, it could be like maybe some public domain thing, and I
Or
don't know.
Fiverr. Someone on
knows?
Fiverr.
Maybe.
No, I'm sure it's somewhere, but it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It totally fits.
Yeah, so folks, definitely check out this album if you haven't already, and if you have already, check it out again, because why not?
Yeah, and it makes sense that after a trilogy of piano albums that we're looking forward to something more band oriented, if you will, more proggy from him to get that out of his system. Like, I wonder how much time he spent during the course of since 2017 when he started this trilogy, that music in that vein was building up in his mind and making notes, and so that now he's just gonna put all that together and bang it out.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what he puts out next. He's always busy, always working on something. So yeah, that should be really cool.
Yeah, so folks, if you're watching this on the archive, we'd love your thoughts. We know this is literally brand new. The cellophane's just been taken off of it, so it might take a few days before some of you get it. Give it a good listen, and go ahead and chime in the comments. We'd love to know what you think. It's a beautiful album, and again, my favorite on there is still The Morning Light. I'm going to listen to it a few more times, play it on my laptop here while I'm working, and see if something else hits me above that. But right away, that was my favorite. Like I said, when I mentioned it, I paused it and looked at it right away. 7 seconds, and it grabbed me. 7 seconds. And I was like, this is my favorite. I haven't even heard the rest of the album.
Yeah. And people can also check out videos of Rick playing a couple of these tracks over on his YouTube channel. It's always great to see him perform all that
on
stuff.
an accordion, which is odd.
On an accordion.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. You can write us if you have questions, suggestions. We do take suggestions. We've gotten a couple great suggestions from fans for shows. You can write us at yesshiftpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us audio only at anchor.fm/yesshift.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were like waiting for me to say something, but
no. And then you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube at Yesshift.
Right. Yeah.
Did I hit everything? Is that everything?
Yeah, I believe so. And I was trying to remind myself the name of the proggy album he's working on, and yeah, it is Return to the Red Planet, which is a sequel to the Red Planet. It comes out in April or May supposedly, so there you go.
That's interesting. You got Journey to the Center of the Earth,
yeah,
and Return to the Center of Red Planet. What should I call this one? Return to the Red Planet.
No, yeah.
Wonder how
What's
much effort wonder what else was on the list that got crossed off.
yeah? What's next? Return to 1984 or something? I don't know.
Funny stuff. Great album. Give it a listen. Let us know what you think. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.